Alright guys, so welcome to the Masterclass for Platoon Leadership. My name is Melson26, for those that don't know. I'm one of the long-serving members of DIG. I've been here since, for, I don't know, 5 years I think now. Is it 5 years, Walker? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Probably even longer.
Probably. I've been playing the game since pretty much beta. Played it for a bit of beta and then stopped and then played it again after that. 2013 basically. Right, so as probably stated, I've also done various service matches as well. I was force commander for the Miller versus, oh god, what was it? Oh, there was another.
Cobalt?
Connor?
No, the
Woodman?
Emerald?
Woodman. That's it. Woodman. That's the one. Miller versus
Who's
Woodman
Woodman?
Smash. Woodman was the old EU server.
Uh,
There was actually 4 EU servers that got merged into 2, and Flatside 2 staff actually hosted the first service smashes, which decided who moved into who, which was quite interesting. I'm going to go over a few topics. The main themes are the following: the mindset of platoon leadership, reading the map, and some common tactics that I hope everybody should know by now, but let's bring the standard up to a certain level. So, the mindset of platoon leadership, very simply, you will not win every victory, you will not win every alert, and you will not win every base that you come across. I hope that's fairly standard. If you are not in a position mentally to accept defeat, take criticism, and take the blame, essentially, you're not suitable for platoon leadership in the long run. The reason why I say this is that due to the fact of motivation. So if you're not willing to improve yourself or sort of accept other people's opinions on things or anything like that, and if you just rule with an iron fist and dictatorship, people will eventually grab onto that sort of language and terminology and basically your persona and not really like it. We as humans hate being told what to do without a choice in things. There is a difference, however, between told what to do and having no choice, and being told what to do with flexibility and freedom. So, that aside, this leads me on to sort of how you would approach accepting defeat. So, blame the game, not the players. Admit to yourself and to other people when you are fucked up. So, a case in point scenario of this, there was a scenario where we were on, what was it now? Russ Mesa. Yesterday, actually, this happened. So, if you look at the map at Russ Mesa, it was actually how it is now. NC had the base. We were on Rashanu Cavern next to it. I placed an orbital strike right in the platoon marker, and we had a Sunder at Alpha waypoint, and I think we had one at Bravo, or lots of troops there. The orbital strike, as those that have used it, its range ends around about there for the actual use, the actual damage factor. However, the knockback is a range beyond that, which is the most destructive thing in the whole lot, to be honest. Rather than killing people, it's actually the knockback and the effect of being able to literally push people off points that makes it so devastating. And that's mainly why I use them in tactics, but I'll go over that in a bit. So, that resulted in essentially us losing that fight because I essentially flipped everybody off the point. Dooba jooba, you're transmitting, mate. So, accept when you've done it. Apologise to your platoon, going, guys, I fucked that one up. That's my fault. You know, people are happy to accept you're human and fuck up rather than you going, nah, that weren't me. Fuck that. No, that wasn't me. That was somebody else's OS when clearly it was yours. So don't lie to you guys. Just definitely be aware that everybody is human playing this game. It's not a strategy game where you're controlling mindless drones. Which brings me on to the human element of this. So, accept that everybody, if you're higher skilled at the game or have been doing it for a long ass time like I have and various others here have done so, you won't have the same response rate as yourself doing it for quite a lot of members, especially now, considering that the game has actually become quite a lot more active. So my advice is accept that your platoon will not be the most efficient, leanest killing machine on the planet. It will never be unless you're in like DIG T or in Elite or whatever, or BITD for example, who absolutely wrecked us. But anyway, So just accept that. Now, so authoritative voicing. So my voice is quite authoritative. It's quite bold, quite determined, quite confident in it. That wasn't the case when I started platoon leading, and I expect that's kind of the case for many people here who want to get into it initially, where you feel that you don't have the authority, or you don't have the knowledge in the game, or you don't have a voice, that commands, essentially. Don't let that put you down. You will build the confidence of the game, and in turn, it'll build confidence in yourself, and in turn, it'll build confidence in your command style. Command styles I'm going to go over in a minute. However, be mindful of it, and my best advice for that is keep doing it. Absolutely keep doing it. You will only get better. Highly doubt you'll get worse, unless you take it too far into heart and basically stop doing it because you feel like you're an absolute shitter and you'll never improve. That's not the way forward to self-improvement for this kind of stuff like this. Now, authoritative voicing in a mental term, so there is a mental element to this, psychological element to this. I don't study psychology, I never have, I probably never will. However, I will say I've observed over the years that people who have a commanding voice, and this goes for CEOs, goes for managing directors, anyone in a high level position, apart from Mark Zuckerberg, which is a strange anomaly, because he's like the most meekiest person on the planet. Whoever thought putting a actual basement troll in the command of the whole of the social element of the planet is another topic for another day. However, there is a general theme. So I actually experienced this in my personal life, where we had an MD who was a bit quite chill. He was quite laid back. He knew what to do and he was very good at his job. However, there was another guy that came in who essentially had a voice like mine, where they were very commanding. They weren't domineering. They weren't sort of saying you're shit, you're fired kind of level, not Donald Trump kind of levels. But they were reasonable, but they spoke with a firm sort of mentality. That, in general terms, to the human psyche means that, yeah, I should listen to this person, they know what the fuck they're doing, they even a bottom line rule, but they understand the way of the world, and I should listen to them. That's kind of what you should go for, really, I've found. Not necessarily shouting people down or anything like that, but being confident in your own decisions, essentially. Even if they're bad ones, even if they're shit decisions, be confident in them. And if you know for a fact that it's an absolutely shit decision and you need to revert it, just say, yep, it's a shit decision, guys, we're pulling out of this fight, or whatever. So, that's basically around the mentality aspect of it all, which I'm not going to go too much deeper into no more, because it's a very subjective matter, and you could debate this all day, and yeah, whatever. So the next topic is the herd. Now, some of you may have noticed that I tend to lead in terms of various particular style, which could be totally different from other people. So my style is stern but firm. In my head there are three styles. Casual AF, which is you use a voice, you place waypoints, and that's pretty much it. This is what I regard as Flutty Man's style. So he uses voice, he tells people to get certain stuff out there, he places waypoints, but he doesn't micromanage, he macromanages. So he tells people what to do, he expects them to sort of get it done, and if he needs to give a little bit of a push, he does. My style is stern but firm, so I use voice in game. I optionally use Discord, which is, no doubt some of you have come across this. But I expect people to follow orders, and I assert time frames. So for me, this works fairly well, because you can do one of the following things, which is, if you give a time frame, and say, for example, redeploy to the warp gate, you've got 30 seconds. So that gives people to finish what they're doing, shoot the person they're shooting at, which is about 20 seconds, say, and redeploy. Now, realistically speaking, I give a minute, not 30 seconds. However, that sense of urgency makes people go, okay, I need to redeploy now, I need to go to the indoor warp gate, and I need to do what the PL is saying. If you half-arse it and go, right guys, we're going to redeploy to warp gate, that to some people means, oh, okay, I've got a minute or so to finish off what I'm doing, repair this tank or whatever, when in fact, really, you need people there as quickly as possible. And if they don't comply to time frames, I give people numerous chances. I do actually look at the map and I do right click. If you zoom in on our map now, right click on the number, you can see who they are. So for example, Alpha 3 is Silver Round, Delta 6 is Warcore, Delta 8 is the William kind of thing. So you can see people who are kind of lagging behind, and if you know why they are, then that's fine. If for example, I know Illist, for example, does a lot of ant work, so I don't go off the platoon map, platoon list sort of thing, looking at the distance or anything like that. I go off the map. So I can see right now, Zuberman's 715 meters away. He could be doing anything. He's relatively in the same area, but he could be doing anything possible. Like,
I'm welding shit, dude.
Exactly. There you go. He's doing that. So don't go off the distance. You can do it by continent, but remember, people can be in queues. So what I tend to do is I tend to say to people, right, type in chat QQ if you're stuck in a queue. Therefore, you're able to mentally take note of, okay, that person's stuck in queue, don't kick them. Or that person's off continent, but he hasn't said QQ, and he hasn't said he's not said anything. So therefore, I assume he's not listening, kick him off continent. Now, you will occasionally get people that are saying, why have you kicked me? And I plainly explain, literally, I saw you on a different continent, or I saw you a million miles away, you weren't responding to my requests for orders or whatever, or reasons why you were doing that. All I could assume was you're not listening. Now, if you do it in a diplomatic way like that, people tend to not take offence and go, oh, okay, fair enough, I'll listen from now on, you can invite me back in. That works 9 times out of 10. I have had people who say, fuck you, why have you kicked me? And I just don't reply to them because they should really listen to reason and not talk to people like that, basically. And I don't want those kind of people in my platoons personally. So the next level, so that's the first 2 levels. The very last level I find is what I call tactical, right? So this is separate squads, all staying together, without exception. Enforcing compliance via kicking, and very, very strict time sets. So sometimes I go into this level when I want to get shit done. So namely, that can be during the last 30 minutes of alerts, or like it was in Outfit Wars, that's the level I play at as well. Stuff like that. So this is the old style I used to do, because I used to lead DIG T many, many years ago. I expect those guys to be of a much higher caliber. They listen to orders, they get shit done, and they do it without fuss. And by all means, they offer suggestions of tactics and stuff. But in general, I was in charge, and I did, and they do. I said, and they did, basically. I expect not many of you are going to go for that level, and to be honest, it doesn't really fit this particular outfit. If you feel like it does, and you want to host stuff like that, I'd recommend you do it as scheduled events, so then people who are coming into it know this and expect it. So just go over those real quick. Leadership styles, casual AF, use the voice, you play as waypoints, that's pretty much it. There's no organisation from squad leaders or anything like that. Stern but firm, use in voice, expect people to follow orders, set in time frames, kick if not. And tactical, which is the super strict, separate squads, separate SLs, separate sort of squad leaders giving people orders and stuff like that. Enforcing compliance and very strict time sets, literally setting timers and whatnot. Any questions so far about that stuff?
Yeah, question. I wasn't sure if it's relevant for this, so maybe you can address it later if it's not pertinent to this topic. But in the past, I led platoons for KOTV a few years ago. I always had trouble balancing between playing and managing and supervising. Is there a guideline you can give on that?
So obviously that's entirely dependent on how involved you want to be in it. So I actually change quite a lot between involvement. So when I feel like I want to be hard ass, I don't actually play that much. I actually go as infiltrator, as a Stark infiltrator, and essentially play info wars. So I have a Stalker. No, sorry. What's the name of the bolt launcher? Hold on 1 second.
The Hunter.
Yeah, the Hunter QCX, which is equipped with the detect bolts. What I do for that is I essentially just spam motion darts everywhere, provide intel for the platoon, and let the platoon do the work while I sort of think strategy. It's like an idle sort of, not an idle, but a low effort sort of thing you need to do while keeping mentally focused on the board, basically. Otherwise, I do get involved with actually, being at the front and getting stuck in, which is what I go towards when I'm feeling more casual and wanting to lead from the front, essentially. You should do that really anyway, but it's dependent on your play style, really. I'm not one of those that wants to get farmed kills or whatever throughout the whole thing. I'm happy to step back a bit and let other people take the front or whatever. It entirely depends.
Something that I have been doing since I started is most of the time I have two modes: it's active play and then tactic play or strategic play. Active play is when you're on the ground, just moving with you have the minimap constantly active. Make sure you keep looking at it. The second one is when you die. Every time you die, open the map, take a look at the grand map, check important bases if they need help, check your base that you're working on, what you want to do. So you can easily switch between those quite quickly.
I think what you might be trying to say is if you see something other bases, relay it back up through the command.
Yeah, so usually the command chain can be quite flat unless you're in tactical sort of level. Usually people have direct line to the PL, and it doesn't here. Like in Discord, usually probably 30% of more than that, half of your platoon members are normally in Discord. So people talk to themselves and go, "Oh yeah, have a look at, for example, on this map right now, have a look at Rashnu. If I was TR, like, oh shit, we need to help Rashnu or whatever, or Zervan's getting capped or whatever." Talk to people. That's the whole point of this.
Hello, Tom.
One thing I'll say as well, I been on another outfit a few, and they're very hardcore tactical. So the way they do it, the platoon leader is mostly does play, but mostly watches the map, and he has designated 4 other people, squad leaders, that are decide what to do on ground already. He just pinpoints the location and where each squad needs to go. How they act and what they do is depending on the squad leader.
Yeah.
And just to free up the comms, you first need to ask for permission. Well, Charlie to platoon, and then the platoon leader responds if he can, if he heard you, and then he says Charlie go, and then you inform the PL whatever. But that's fully tactical whatever.
Yeah.
And they have modules and stuff, but yeah, it's very when they go tactical, it's very efficient at getting.
It is.
And how's the split in the characteristic of platoons? Is there a minimum expectation of engagement, and or can everyone just be casual? Coordinate these things.
It's up to the PL.
That's entirely up to you. That's up to you entirely. What I tend to do is, as I say, I'm in the stern but firm region where I use voice, Discord if voice is fucking up, which it is doing a lot lately. I give. It depends. I sometimes give platoon-wide orders and don't give a fuck which squad does what. Sometimes I give squad-specific orders, and what I do with that, and I'll go over this in a moment, is as I gather them in a way where they're basically forced to be in amongst the same squad or the same squads as they're performing a task. So actually that kind of leads quite nicely to my next topic, which is trusting your SLs.
That's a squad leader.
Yeah, squad leader, sorry. The way that Flutty Man does it, the casual way, is he generally gives platoon-wide orders. Sometimes he may have SLs that dedicate for certain things, but I've not seen in my present. I've not seen in the past recent couple of months I've been playing this again. So in casual settings, SLs don't really have much of a role, other than maybe if they want to, absolutely take control of their squad and do stuff. But the PL needs to be aware of that. But it tends not to happen in a casual setting. In my sort of region, I empower my SLs. That's the way I do this. I basically ask who wants to be a squad lead for me, and if people pipe up, unfortunately not many people are, but I hope that changes because of this. If people pipe up, I generally give them the ability to command their squad how they see fit, and I just give a general guidance as to where I want them and what to do. So what I did, actually I did this yesterday. So for those that may have been here yesterday, Dignity arrived, our founder. He's not a leader because he's not active enough. However, he is respected in the community for obvious reasons because he founded the fucking thing. And Dignity, he likes to be in charge of something. So I just know that because I know the guy sort of mainly. And I've also seen this in other people that are sitting in this very chat channel. So I like to empower those people, give them a role to do, and they will happily do it and respect you for being given the opportunity to do it. So it's about knowing your people basically. So by all means give SL to somebody who you know does the job well. They have their own style of doing it, and if they do, then accept it and just move on from that. But if it's somebody that you don't quite know, give them it anyway and see how they react. If they are being very tactical with their squad, take note of it. Note for a future session. If they're being casual and they're not really doing much, that's fine as well. It's how you want to lead it. We in DIG encourage people a lot to become an SL, mainly because we have a lot of people to manage. Like right now, it's 6:30 on a Saturday evening in BST at least. We have 157 people online in the outfit right now. It's a lot of people. That's easily 3-4 platoons, which is why really we're doing this, is because we have about maybe 6 people that lead platoons, and a lot of you are already in here doing this, and we need more, because essentially it's not really fair to ask Flutty to do it all the time, ask Warcore to do it all the time, Old School, me, Gressin, various other people to lead platoons constantly all the time. It's just going to lead to burnout.
Yeah, and something that on the note of squad leads is being a PL alone is very stressful, and just having one SL that you can designate some stuff to do to is very helpful. So you can concentrate on other things. If you have SLs that will take care of their squads at least for a little bit, you can calm down, check the map, sit back, watch what happens, and it helps with just general anxiety of leading.
If I can give a tip for SLs, when I try and make a platoon, either it's open or outfit only, doesn't really matter. I tend to get people a squad lead in my platoon on Discord. So the people on Discord get preferential treatment for SL in my platoons, usually.
Yeah. This is as much about squad leading as it is platoon leading.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The two aren't really you can't really de-link them.
Yeah, because
a platoon leader needs competent squad leads to do his job properly, and the squad lead needs a competent PL to make sure that their general strategy.
Just as comparison, same as platoon leader, you always start out as a squad lead until you get enough people, and then it becomes a platoon. So same way as what you would do with your squad, as leading it, you just more like if it's as if you have a squad, but it has 48 people. Well, 47 if you're not included. Pretty much anything you learn for squad leading is very useful for platoon leading as well, because you do almost the same things.
It's very
Just on a
Definitely.
bigger scale.
Definitely, yeah.
So in some cases, it's better to start off as a squad leader with, someone that's
Yeah,
more
if you're
competent as a platoon.
Yeah, if you're unsure, you can just start off with a squad. Like if you think like it's not that difficult. Like I personally just started now like doing platoon squad quite often, simply because I personally enjoy doing them on squad on other games like squad and whatever else, and that I like the casual way of playing. Like I don't really like being that much tactical. I've tried being tactical, and I know like getting dragged upon around the whole map. Like you should just get it into one point. You grab something they ask you, then you throw it away, go somewhere else, so it gets tiresome and you get annoyed quite quickly. If a platoon leader is just throwing people all around.
Yeah, and that leads to my next topic. It's actually a really good point. Is sort of giving consistent orders. So I've done this many times, where essentially I've given an order and gone, oh shit, I shouldn't have given that because it's complete bollocks. Now, doing that once or twice is okay, and you will do it eventually when you start leading. You will give shit orders, but the thing is to make it so that you're not giving rapid fire orders. So, case in point, for example, if I asked everybody to go to the warp gate, and I decided, right, we're going to go to Indoor Comare right now because it needs saving, and then right midway I go, actually no guys, we're going to go to Alatum. Actually no guys, no, we really need to go to Indoor Comare, redirect. It just gives an air of inconsistency and incompetence mainly. So I highly advise that you know what the fuck you're going to do and commit to it rather than flip-flopping. Now, there are times, obviously, if you go to Indoor Comare and decide, oh no, that's been saved, fine, redirect to Alatum instead, you've got to make decisions like that pretty much on the fly. Now, that's fine, and that's totally fine. People will happily accept one mistake and move on from it. They don't really bat an eyelid. It's when you have multiple mistakes in a row that it gives, in a rapid succession, that it gives an air of you not knowing what you're really doing. So when you're in that kind of situation, I've been in it before, where I've asked people like going, guys, I don't know what to hit, what should we hit? Get opinions from your SLs, from people on Discord, etc. Any questions about that so far?
I have no, like I've been doing exactly what you mentioned. Like you look at the map, you go one place, then you notice, oh, the other place is like we're gonna lose it quicker, so like cancel that, or as I say, scratch that. Let's go elsewhere, and everyone goes elsewhere, and you just throw people around.
Let's say for example, like I tell everyone to go warp gate. We all get can't even remember their names. The big ships, and we're all going towards, let's say, the Galaxy, and we're all going to Arrow. But then midway, it kind of flips more where it's in their favor. Could I tell Galaxy drivers to drop everyone off, but then start flying somewhere else where we clean up and then redeploy back into Galaxies?
Yeah, that's a very valid strategy.
Yeah.
I tend not to do that. If we're in mid-flight, you redirect the Galaxies to the new target.
Yeah.
You don't drop off the players in the middle of nowhere. You move to the other.
But not in the middle of nowhere. But if you want to make sure that
where I originally said.
One quick the technique that I've noticed our outfits use that makes it way more interesting. Well, more interesting for people, because like when people say warp gate, and like there's a bunch of sitting around, so people don't sit around. You have like 4 galleys ready. You just place a waypoint, for example, like right now Delta waypoint, like in the middle of the map somewhere, like on your territory, and they'll tell all the galleys to go to that waypoint. And within that time, you have like a 20-30 second window until they get there. That you can decide on where exactly you want to go. That way, like people actually get the feeling that they're actually going somewhere, doing something, so it's not like that much of a stalemate, So no one is waiting on their ass, getting bored.
Usually, if you have good squad leaders, they usually make sure that the people go there. They take Galaxies, they take Sandys, stuff like that.
Yep.
I had a question for Maelstrom, because you said you're asking for suggestions and stuff. But what do you do when you are not asking for suggestions, but you have a bunch of guys that tell you what to do?
Backseat Commanders.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
How do you deal with them?
we've had a lot of this. So the bottom line is they need to respect your authority. If you're doing this, you're spending your free fucking time doing this. You're sat at a computer where you could have been outside, you could have been shagging some girl, you know, whatever.
Nah.
Nah. I know we're not, probably not.
You're gonna have to cut that part, bro.
Yeah.
But exactly that, and this is the thing. You've got to either shout over them, go no, I don't agree. Thank you for your input, but I don't agree. Be respectful, but authoritative at the same time. Don't go to the language of shut the fuck up. I'm leading. What I say is goes. It's not helpful because people will just rise up to that and start arguing even more, which has happened before. Actually, that's interesting because I had this not yesterday, about a week ago, where I had a guy who was inexperienced, I could tell, and he was trying to command me to things. He says, I was a PL for KOTV, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you're a PL for KOTV. You're not in that outfit no more. You're in my outfit, or DIG outfit, our outfit. Like, respect the people that are leading this thing. And, you know, eventually he saw it and go, yeah, okay, fine, yeah, I'm wrong. You know, I shouldn't be backseating. I'm only trying to offer suggestions. And that's usually what happens. And you'll see it on Reddit as well. Like, people, I hate the fact that people do this, but people are extremely passionate about what they do, about what they play, especially if they're playing it for a long time. I'm passionate about this game, but where the difference lies between toxicity and feedback is the language element of it all. So I don't know anyone really where in DIG who uses language that pisses me off. Fluttyman sometimes, and this is well known, this is not private, this is public knowledge, sometimes he can go into a bit of a rage and tell people to start effing off. It's happened before, we've spoke to him about it numerous times. He keeps it in check, but occasionally he does explode, and that happens to everybody. I'm not dissing the guy, he's a fantastic guy, I'm just saying it happens to everyone. And I'll go on record to say that I have great respect for him, and he will hopefully keep leading us till the game dies. And by looking at it, he's been doing it for 7 fucking years. I don't think he'll be doing anything different. So it's just that element of respect, really, about everything. So yes, take the feedback on board. Accept that people are trying to be suggestive rather than outright undermining you. If you accept that, then you can have a constructive conversation with them saying, okay, I get what you're saying, but I'm still in command of this. You can even go, if you want to be in command, step up to the plate and lead this platoon, and you'll normally find they shy away from that and go, nope. So there we go. That's
authority without responsibility is something that everybody wants.
Yeah, exactly.
If I can give another tip, if you have a backseat commander that gives you tons of that wants you to move to somewhere else constantly, try and explain the situation to him. I had a guy today in my platoon that asked me to go to a tech plant that was under attack, and I explained to him, no, I'm focusing on the Biolab. I want to surround it, and then take the Biolab. And then he shut up.
Like, I have that as well, but people usually ask well, why not go there? Why go here? And then I usually try explaining, and usually mostly, if not all the time, they understand and then just continue on. Though yesterday, I think the same thing happened. I think someone was complaining that we didn't take the crown when we should have whatever, and we lost the.
Yeah, I recall that. Yeah.
I can't remember who it was though.
I know who it was. I'm not going to name names, but again, it's one of those where you got to say to the guy okay. Usually they do it because they're pissed off about something, not you necessarily, but not other things. Like they could have been killed one too many times, or have died in a really fucked up way. Like this game has that ability to be a bit weird, and client side is a thing as well. You know, it can really piss people off, and tempers do flare. It happens. We're all human. We all do it. Various people have various different levels of doing it. I can be a bit of a raging motherfucker sometimes. You know, it's just the way it is. Anyway, so we're on a bit of a tangent there about backseating, but yeah, it's absolutely a valid point, and it's an element of your life, and it will be. You will get it at some point. You will get somebody who thinks they know better than you. It's how they approach it that makes the difference. So, I'm going to go on my last topic, which is about mindset, which is recruiting off the herd. Now, DIG is massive. DIG currently has 6,312 people in the outfit. Probably half of those don't play. We do need to do a culling at some point, but I'll probably do that at some point this weekend or whatever. But the vast majority of people probably are playing at the moment because the game has got a new lease of life, and I think for a while it will have so. And if the games keep, if the devs, as they've said in Reddit and various other places recently, saying that they plan to do monthly updates, not as big as this one, but regular updates again, great. And the playership will keep coming back, and different people will keep coming back. Just this past couple of months alone, we've had various people come back. I've come back. Sunshine's come back. Those that remember her, like Llama, various. Kazi's like, guy that I was surprised about.
I've come back as well.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people are coming back, and that's a good thing for the game. Absolutely. So another great thing for the game is retention. So retention of players, and it's absolutely essential for both the outfit and the game to survive. People want to play a game long term if they know that there are other people out there who will lead them into battle consistently, regularly, and have a good time doing it. Again, I use Floaty Man again as an example of this. He regularly leads, he has a following, Floaty Wife being one of them, and people regularly come on just to play with him. I've got a bit of a following where people are asking for a Discord platoon. I do those. I don't think anybody else really does Discord only platoons in DIG, and that's absolutely fine. But
I could start them.
you can absolutely can. And I think because of that, and I've noticed, because I've been using the different chat codes, that people are randomly putting WWXXMM whatever just in hopes of getting an invite. Yeah, it's quite
even right now, like home run, for example, just wrote X randomly.
X is actually a cinemas kind of like invite me kind of thing. That needs to be encouraged. But when it's like double X or double C or whatever, it's because it's quite funny. I'll go over that in a moment, how to recruit people in. So, recruiting the herd. It's no secret that it can be quite challenging. For those that don't know, if you press O and then press home, there is a button, don't press it, there is a button that says invite online members to squad. That button is great, but I find it has certain elements of it being a bit shit. First of all, it's not continent aware, so it will invite everyone in the outfit, regardless of continent, regardless of where they are, regardless of what they're doing. That's bad number one. Bad number two is that it won't necessarily mean that people will be listening to those that you've brought in, which is fine if you're leading a casual outfit platoon and you don't really give a fuck if people aren't 100% on the point or whatever. That's great, but I've personally found it's not that great for me. Secondly, it fills your platoon very quickly, but chances are, if people have issues with their voice, which is unfortunately quite commonplace at the moment, which really pisses me off as a leader, you'll find that they just don't listen, and you'll eventually end up kicking them out anyway. So use that button with what's the word? With a certain element of apprehension, I'd say. Don't expect it to solve all your recruitment problems. So those that have known me fairly well, they notice that I'm very active on the outfit chat in game and very active on spamming the shit out of it. Not to the point where it's annoying, but I do have regular messages I post. So, for example, I'm going to put this in platoon rather than outfit. I'm going to do this. That's usually my spam that I issue. So, not necessarily in capitals, but with some characters in it to distinguish it. So, XX, whatever.
To make it stick out.
Huh?
To make it stick out.
Yes, exactly that. So it's like an announcement almost. Now, if you're doing that constantly, then, it gets annoying and you ignore it. But if you do it on the occasional, I don't know, every 10 minutes or so, then that's great as well. Outfit voice, when it works, is also quite useful, but you have to be quite consistent because it goes out to all the people that are playing, and they may just mute you if you're spamming it constantly. So I tend to do something in the line of of this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I see we've got a lot of people online tonight. We're operating an Indar right now. There's 2 platoons on Indar. If you want an invite to it, please type Indar into the outfit chat. I highly encourage Discord participation, so I'm going to type the link that you all should really save mentally. It's quite easy to do.
The one posted on...
it's on Discord chat. So it's discord.io/digps2. Make note, however, you need to put that in your browser. It doesn't work from Discord itself. So if people tell you going, it didn't work, it's because they didn't read your little thing on the end saying put in browser. Actually, sorry, what I put there is not quite right. That's officially what you should put. So that then means it's obvious that you've got to put that in your browser, and if you don't do that, you're fucking thick. So there's that. So that is an invite directly to our PS2 channel. DigBot will give them the PS2 role, which they're able to access with it, and that means they are instantly in your channel, listening and participating. I highly encourage you all to use that on a regular basis in your platoon, in your outfit as well. Discord participation is the ultimate sort of level you need to really be at, because not only do you get a social experience from it all, but you also get a channel of people being able to tell you we need to fight this or X or Y, rather than distribute it to the whole fucking platoon who are trying to do stuff.
There's a negative though. Your comms are fucked up because you're constantly chatting in platoon, outfit chat, and then Discord. You might go into the wrong.
Yeah, and if you have the authority, guys, to go, right, it's getting too noisy in here, can my platoon please go to a different channel? Absolutely, you have absolute right to do that. Like, nobody will go, fucking hell, he's trying to drag everybody away. No, you're trying to do stuff with your platoon. By all means do it. It's rare we do it, but by all means do it. Okay, 2 other points in this. I'm going to go through these really quickly. So, emphasis on advertisements when you win alerts, for example. So, massive fights. If you're leading open platoons, as in non-dig platoons, this is very prominent as well. So, if you win a fight, mentally speaking, people generally are more receptive to what you're saying. So, best thing to do is absolutely go and say something. If you win an alert, for example, say something along these lines. That was a great fight, guys. Absolutely epic stuff to do. You've all been listening. You've all been absolutely fighting to the tooth and nail, winning this fight. By the way, we do have an outfit Discord. Please come join us. I'll put the link in channel, and you can have a good banter with us. We regularly run stuff like this. Come and join us. There you go. Simple as that. It's having the confidence to do it. That's the key point. But if you feel like you're confident enough in saying it, absolutely do it. It helps a lot.
What helped in my experience was like you can also tell them like to get a group picture in the warp gate. Most of the people would actually love to do that probably, and then you can say like I'll just like link it up and just upload it to Discord. So there you go, you've got your followers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, and there are times and places to do that, especially when it's been a really good alert.
Right.
And it gives you a sense of people participating to it. A good thing I find sometimes is doing what's called a lasher party, which is essentially going to the warp gate and just shooting your lasher everywhere. It looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. So, when there's multiple platoons running, you may want to start splitting advertisements or messages out to different things. So I did this, might have been Friday or Thursday. We had 2 platoons in Indar. And we obviously, some people wanted to join one, some people wanted to join another. I think Illis might remember this. So I basically had a chat message crafted saying, we have 2 Indar outfits, please type the name of the leader, or or double M for Maelstrom,
yeah, double M or double L.
Or ill for illest. I think we'd Warcore on at one point as well.
Yeah.
Friday.
There was three platoons later on, I think. Sikazi had one, or Sandorus, I can remember someone opened the third one as well, and we filled 3 platoons.
Yeah. So, it's rare you're going to do that, but that's it. So, my next topic, big topic, is reading the map. So, I'd like you all to open your map, please. There is a standardized sort of level of filters and shit you really should have as a PL. So if you click on the second button, the filter button, you should have all those ticked except Influence Cloud. Influence Cloud is fucking useless. I don't know why it's still in the game. Now there is a heat map below. I usually play with none because I'm good enough to understand what bases to look at and stuff like that. However, there is 2 heat maps you probably should be aware of, which is enemy activity. So if you all open that now, you'll see the map has gone into sort of an outline mode, and you can see where all the enemy platoons are. So in this case, there is a shit ton of people at Howling Pass, a whole metric load of people at the Crown, Quartz Ridge, Crossroads, etc. Now, what this doesn't do is filter out a particular empire. So Howling Pass at this point will obviously be red as hell because there is 2 sides and probably a platoon each on, or half a platoon each on Howling Pass from each faction entity in TR. However, when it comes to our bases, like Crossroads, you can see here that there's a lot of enemies in Crossroads, but also a lot of friendlies. Now if you open up the Ally plus enemy activity heat map, it goes into a shades of red and white. So
it's blue.
It goes between red and blue.
It's like more white, yeah.
So when it's blue, if you look at Allerton Research, it's more of a bluey colour, which means there's a lot of friendlies there, but not that many enemies. However, if you look at Quartz Ridge, it's more of a, Crossroads is a better example. Crossroads is pretty much white, which means it's basically par between the 2. So for those that didn't know about that, that's quite useful. Little tidbit there. Right. So usually though, I would put it on none because it gives you more of an overview of the actual territory. But eventually you'll learn to read the map anyway in terms of populations. One thing I will say though about populations is the game has, and it's a bit fucky, but it's generally okay. When you have a 50-50 fight, generally the spawns that are available can differ. However, if you look at Crossroads right now, you'll see there that we are actually underpopped. So if you redeploy now, probably have an option to spawn at Crossroads. Yeah, you do. So you have an option there. For what I understand,
I do not.
Oh, there you go. Sometimes it can be inconsistent.
I don't have
either. Wait.
So I've just lost mine now. Now, occasionally, sometimes it takes a while to update and realise that there's less population or more population or whatever. Now, in this scenario, what I would do is either grab a gal from the warp gate and bring it over, or I ask if I know for a fact that the amount I've got in my platoon is going to overload the population and not everybody will get in, I will ask my SLs only to go in there. And then once they're in there, they can pop beacons. Now, beacons can be used wherever you are in the continent, regardless of pop status. So, if you're able to do that and get your SLs to pop beacons, or any member of the squad, now thankfully that's a thing now, any member of the squad can use beacons. If you can get them on there, on the hex, and pop it before you send the whole of your platoon in, that is devastating, because it means you have suddenly got 48 members on that hex when really you shouldn't have it. Which is quite useful. So otherwise, if you can't spawn there and you need people in there, just grab a cypher with afterburner pods and just get your ass over there and pop a beacon and get you guys to redeploy beforehand. So go on.
Can I interject? Sorry. What I tend to do is go to the nearest base and then spawn Thunderers from there. That works as well.
Right, yeah.
That's true, but it's a bit slower. So
True. Yes.
If there's an established fight like there is in Crossroads, the chances are there is already going to be Sunderers there. If not, then you're going to get kicked off shortly. But 9 times out of 10 there's going to be a Sunderer there or some sort of hard spawn. or once you're actually there, you have the actual base itself to spawn at. Now, the situation where that doesn't work, obviously, is in say for example, the major bases where the SCUs have been blown out, or special bases like Crossroads that have SCUs on them. In that case, you have to be a bit more advanced and maybe pull Sunderers just to guarantee that you actually have a spawn access. So this quite nicely leads me on to reading the map in terms of knowing your bases. So Crossroads, I'm going to take this as a case point. I'll zoom in on Crossroads, please. So as PL, I want to say for example this is TR base now. I want to attack it. Knowing your base is quite useful in my experience because I'm going to place waypoints, so don't place waypoints, please. Very plainly, just saying, right guys, I want Sunder is located on Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta waypoints. People understand that quite well, so they understand, okay, so I need to place a Sunder at one of those points. Now, if you're being tactical, you would say, I want Alpha and Alpha marker, Bravo and Bravo marker, etc. I tend to find that doesn't tend to work, usually because people aren't that organised, they're not that strict, and they can't be asked. So usually just saying, just pop Sunders on those waypoints and call it a day. That usually works.
What makes you determine like a good Sunder location? I know it's like most of it's probably experience, but like, can you like spot good Sunder locations on the map by itself?
Well, yeah. There's two things you need to know about Sunder location. A, enclosed. B, covered.
Right.
So, if we look at Crossroads, for example, Alpha Waypoint is a very good one. It's covered and enclosed from two sides. So they have two entrances. Bravo is very good as well. There's also a garage. Charlie and Delta are both very open, meaning they can be destroyed easily, but they are very close to a point, which makes them valuable.
Strong, yeah, I see. So, like, it would be good to have them have the cloak for it then.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
If you need to put something in the open because it's very close, get a cloak.
All right, sure.
But if we just look at other bases, like look at Paris Amp, the towers themselves are very nice because they're covered from four sides, and getting into the top of it is quite difficult, at least with a heavy assault. Then those points are also very nice.
It is a lot of experience knowing the bases where to put your Sunderers, because some towers allow you to drive in them with a Sunderer, and then you can drop it in there. It's
all
very
towers can be driven into. It's just
it depends on terrain. It depends on
the terrain in front of the stairs.
Yes, that's true. But every tower our amp tower has the capability of being driven into.
Yeah.
I see.
So take Paris example. I'll do this again. So take Paris. I would order. Right, guys. So we're attacking from the west. I'd like some Sunderers, please, located on Alpha Waypoint, Bravo Waypoint, Charlie Waypoint, and Delta if possible. Now Delta is a bit of a wild card because if Paris Eastern Grove and Paris Field Tower is TR, for example, then it would be a bit more difficult to get ones on there. So I tend to place my Sunderers on the friendly side, only because they're more easily defendable. Plus, it's easier to get them there. Bear in mind, however, Paris, for example, does have a gate shield at Platoon Waypoint. So some people who don't realise that they can't get through the shield may not be able to place them where you expect, so just account for that. Now, if you really need a very specific placements, what I recommend is that you get some very specific people on Discord to go, right guys, I need GSD Sunderers, I want them on the waypoints, can you get that done please? And people will obviously know then to take GSDs and make sure they can get through.
So when he mentioned GSDs, so for those that don't know, that's a module for the Sunderer that you can like utility, so gate
shield diffuser.
And diffuser, so you can actually go through those shields for a certain amount of time. They're very useful for tech plants, like everywhere there's shield, but usually amp station and tech plants are useful because the points are within those areas. specifically for amp station, there's no other way other than to use a GSD to actually get in there at the very start. So they're very useful to have.
So, amp stations, I'll start with that. So there's two characteristics of note to amp stations. So we can see right now there is alpha and waypoint, Bravo waypoints where there's gen rooms. For those that have played the game forever, you know what they do. But for those that may not know, they essentially control the shields which are located at Charlie and Delta waypoints. Now,
so sorry to cut you off just for a second. We could actually go down, and it's actually going to be shown on the shield wall itself. Like the icons themselves are on the shield wall. So.
Yeah, actually, it's behind you. They're actually behind you on the landing pad here. So you can see on the shield itself. I don't know why it's a thing, but you can actually see which generators are up or which generators are down. To be honest, I read the map. The shield at, I'm going to wipe this marker. So the shield at Platoon Waypoint, if we all head over there. So if you have a look at the shield, it actually has a symbol on it, which is a power symbol. Now, if I remember right, the grayed out reticule means, can we get the max out of the way? Means the capture time up to the halfway point. Now, if the capture time is up to the halfway, it means this shield goes down and enemies can actually get in, which then means they can then actually hack the SCU and prevent any captures. So if you're able to get the capture time to this level, enemies then have two problems in their hands. Not only do they have the people on the point to get rid of, but they have people coming in from this doorway to also hit them in the face, in the rear. Sorry. So if you come inside, there's actually two teleport pads or lifts, if you want to call them that, which is led from the spawn room. Some of you may not know that, probably most of you do. This is where the enemies would mainly reinforce if they were trying to get people off the point, essentially. So if you're able to get a bunch of people in here and lock these down while the SCU is dying or being hacked or whatever, it's tremendous, because it means they have no way of getting in other than the shields. Right, come follow me. It's obvious that the point's above us. Now, if you really want to lock this area down, you can ask infiltrators to hack these terminals at the top here, the vehicle terminals, and get your platoon to pull sunderers with preferably. What's the name of it now? I forget.
Repair sunderers.
Yeah, repair sunderers, preferably with.
GSD.
Have I not got it on here? Furies or someone. Furies are bulldogs. For some reason my game's fucked up on them things. So you can actually pull them out and bring them back in. Can somebody mute Dave Electric is supposed to fix the point. So if the shields are down, you can do this quite freely. However, if the shields are up, and this is a decision you've got to make as a tactician, if the shields are up and you can get GSDs and sunderers inside, that's fine as well. But also,
you can't deploy them in here, though, can you?
You can't deploy them, no. I'm on about merely just having them in here as causing us a buffer, basically. That's a suppression element.
As well as you can use it to let people get inside through the gate shields.
Yeah, if you send us a GSD, you can pull them inside, pop it, get outside and reposition it, and back in. That is if the shields are up. And I actually recommend keeping the shields up, because it means then if you do this tactic, tanks on the outside can't then pop your sunderers without peeking in, and then you can shoot them anyway. So it's entirely up to you. I recommend keeping the shields up where possible. There is actually a bug which I don't think devs can actually fix. So whose sunder is this? This one that's stood here. Whose is this one? Right, leave that there. Come all of you come outside. Bring it slightly forward. This sunder, just to simulate, ever so slightly forward, just to simulate it being right next to the shield. That's it. There you go. So come outside, guys. Come to where I'm stood. If the PLs are here, if the sunder is here, you can actually get in it and get out of it inside the shield. Try that.
Ooh.
You can glitch through the shield.
That works with enemy bases, in fact.
Yeah. Enemy bases.
That's a feature. That's not a bug.
That's a feature.
It requires a very specific person to be in this very specific place, but yes, absolutely, it can be done. So, not only do you have protection from the outside, in this scenario, right now, as we've got area suppression from the spawn room, and in general everywhere as well. So if you're able to get this kind of set up in your amp station, you've basically got the base. The only thing you've got to worry about is on the A point. If you all come to the A point, the lifts are there. But in general, you'll have this area locked down anyway. And if the shields are up, they have to come out and poke the head out to shoot you. They can't shoot you through the shield. It doesn't let you. Like right now, I can't shoot you. So they have to come out, and then you have an opportunity to shoot them in the face. So yes, it's a very
another note for this exact location is a very good tactic is if you have medics and whatever, you can just walk up to the shield that they keep peeking out and just have a knife out. Just have a knife out. If they peek out, you can do damage to them way faster and way more than they can do to you, so they won't even cause that much harm. So just go up to the shield with the knife and just hold them back there. Usually they still peek out even though there's a dude with the knife there thinking they can do something, but they can't.
Yeah.
Until
they come through with a shotgun.
A shotgun, yeah.
Even with the shotgun, usually it takes 2 shots.
A jackhammer, 1 shot.
Okay, so let's practice what I was mentioning earlier. Can SLs please pull galaxies from the warp gate?
I can heal you.
So this will introduce to another tactic that's possible in, well, it's not a tactic per se, it's more of an organisational tool. So I'm Alpha Leader, so I'll go to the warp gate, given the order, go to the terminal and pull a galaxy, or you can do it from the map, which is the faster way of doing it. I don't know why I didn't mention that.
By the way, tell them how to use the map, because most people actually don't know.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, so if you select the warp gate, there is a button next to your class loadouts, which usually has a circle with a cross through it. So what this represents is the vehicle spawn menu. So you can actually spawn vehicles straight from this menu. Now, unfortunately, it's a little buggy when it comes to other bases. So, for example, Crossroads may or may not have one of the terminals damaged or destroyed. If one of the terminals is damaged or destroyed or captured, it for some reason bugs out and just doesn't work, even though there is a terminal available. Don't know why. So, in this context, I'm gonna, if everybody's undeployed, I'd give the order now. Right, everybody, redeploy, spawn to your appropriate galaxy, squad galaxies. So therefore, people will go to the menu, see that there is a green galaxy available, and spawn to it. The benefit of this is now that we have galaxies available for every single squad, so they're able to spawn in from anywhere. They're in their squad gals, which means they're organised in a particular way. And therefore, in theory, you can issue squad-based commands. So, for example, don't do this because it's a fake order. I could say, for example, right, Alpha and Bravo is going to go to Highland Solar, Charlie and Delta are going to go to Ayani Labs. That then means that their squads are completely concise, completely together, and are at the exact same place where you want them to be. It's quite a powerful tool. The squad gal mechanism, and it takes, I think I've timed it in the past, if squad leaders do it exactly when you say pull via the menu, and your squads respond to that order within relative time. I think it's about 30 seconds. So in 30 seconds you can have a highly organised platoon ready and round to go exactly where you need them, and it's powerful. It's hella powerful. Don't think that organisation isn't powerful in this game. It is the apex of this game. If you can organise 48 people and doing your bidding exactly how you want them to, and exactly with the tactics you have in mind, it's more powerful than any single gun in the whole game, apart from orbital strikes. Right, so unfortunately we don't have a Biolab to go to at the minute, so let us go to our tech plant where I'll go over the next. So one thing to note before I go on with the tech plant stuff: always instruct your galaxy pilots to go directly to your waypoints. If they're deviating from that, or if they're not flying over them, tell them to do so. Reason for this is, it means, for those that remember D-Day, those that know what D-Day means, D-Day was an absolute shit show.
My days!
So, in Normandy, the Allies wanted to drop people on a very specific area. They completely fucked it up because half their planes got in absolute chaos, missed their drops, and ended up scattering half of the US forces across the whole of Normandy. Which meant that not only did they lost cohesion and organisation, a lot of people died, because of various people's cock-ups. Now, obviously back then, they didn't have the ability to have GPS or anything like that, obviously, so that's a bit of an interesting point. But in this game, there is no excuse. If you have markers where you want your people to be, there is absolutely no reason why you cannot have people exactly dead on your markers. So, having good gal pilots is always a good thing. If people, it's a real simple thing to do as well. You literally just fly over the point, and the innateness of people of this game will know to exit the vehicle when they're over the marker. It's just the way it is. Now, if you're a bit wishy-washy with your orders, say, right, I just want people to gal drop this base at various places, there's no real semblance to what this is, and people will just drop here nilly. However, if you go, right guys, I want a gal drop at Alpha Waypoint, that's going to go into the back and into the back rooms. I want people dropping the gen rooms, so 2 gals there, and I want somebody at the vehicle terminal to grab some vehicles and hack it. That's a much more concise order, and much more, I've got a purpose to this kind of order, and people will follow it more. It's just the way that people tick. So, there's that. Now, let's go into the base. So this, guys, will be the only sanctioned time you're allowed to kill your fellow diglets. Use the opportunity well. So, everybody, let me make sure the squads are actually semi-even. Second.
Delta Squad, we take it like a man.
I would like every member of Charlie Squad to fire in the door at Charlie Waypoint, and then I say, don't do it yet, and Alpha Squad to fire on the left door. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay. Ceasefire. Stop. Delta didn't say to move yet. So, okay. I'm now going to demonstrate, and bear in mind, this is with friendly fire on. Friendly fire is half the damage of the normal lasher against an enemy.
Test.
So, when I say, Delta is going to split themselves between the 2 doors. Walker, you decide who goes where. So listen to your SL in squad chat thing. While they organise.
I'm not in Delta. I'm in Charlie.
Sorry. Who's Delta lead? Illis.
I am.
Sorry,
my
bad.
Yeah.
So Illis, decide who's going to go where. I'm sure he'll decide in his own way. So, in 5 seconds, when I do a countdown, we're going to shoot the door, and Delta's going to come in, and we're going to see what the effectiveness of this weapon is. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh wow.
Okay, ceasefire. Medics, get them up. So,
does my mic work?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Coming.
So that, with half damage, represents the power of this tactic. You can fucking lock this door down and nothing will move and nothing will survive. A max goes through that. In fact, let's have Delta bring a max out, please. Someone in a max going through that will absolutely get destroyed. So let's wait for this max. So choose the door. Guys, fire.
He's still alive.
Yeah,
nah, I'm still alive.
That's because of the friendly fire.
Yeah.
And we also have people repairing them as well, so.
Yeah, I said like because realistically those maxes would have NGs if they're actually doing a max push. So.
Yeah, absolutely, but those engineers would be totally dead.
Yeah, true. I showed it. I used my max as a shield for myself, and I still died because the lasher has a radius. So.
So, while they took a lot longer to die than the infantry, that's going to happen anyway, but because of the friendly fire, I think on maxes on the friendly fire it's actually 75% less damage, so, if I remember right. So, while that wasn't as an effective demonstration, it's still damn effective. So, absolutely, it's a very simple tactic, so you would say to your platoon, right guys, I want heavies with lashes please on the platoon waypoint. Go. And if you get that amount of people on there, you can lock this fucking door down.
As well, a very good tip if you're holding this area down and tech plant in total, it's always great to have an infiltrator hack all the terminals above and have 4 people on the AA turrets. So that defeats any attempt of a galaxy drop, because at least one galaxy will get destroyed midway trying to approach.
Right, come with me please to the back.
Also, one more thing. If you're on the right side of the railing, shoot at the left door. If you're on the left side of the railing, shoot the right door.
Yeah, crisscross. That's what I call
Crisscross. Yeah, because you get obscured vision if you left and right.
So this is what we call balcony. For those that, I'm sure many people know this, but this is the balcony area. So when PL says, or you issue the order, right, we'll need people on balcony, guys. This is where he means. This is what he means.
Yeah, it's the inside area, not the outside area.
Yeah, the inside, yeah. Now, below us, if you come down, this is the garage area, for obvious reasons. So, there is a lift to our right. Commonly, what people try to do is max crash through there. I'm not going to go over what a max crash is today, you should all know what that is. But, effectively, that's where they will be coming from. So, there's 2 ways of cheesing this. And rock cover is exactly demonstrated exactly what I meant. So you're able to get, you can get shot, but you're able to get them there, and it will totally fuck up their charge because they'll either get stuck or they'll glitch through it, and it will just cause massive disorganization.
Or they'll just up and die.
Yeah. Now, another tactic you can do as well, if you know there's a max crash there, you know there's no Sundras there, you can place C4 on the on that. So as soon as they come up there, blow your C4 and you'll have killed half their maxes. Because the enemy sometimes is not smart enough to go, right, we'll trickle people in, and the people that get instantly killed by this C4 will have maybe out of 3 maxes rather than the whole fucking charge. People tend to send the whole lot in straight away and they'll just get instantly killed. That's happened to me so many times.
Yes.
As well as
and it's very demoralizing when that happens.
To the right side there's an elevator that they usually use to get up. If they crash through here, they will go up towards like the staircase area. There's an elevator there, so that's as well one spot that you can literally just mine to the wazoo.
Yeah.
And usually they'll just blow up the moment they go up.
Smart people amongst us may have realised that there is a ledge here. And with this ledge, you could place C4 right there. Right there. So when people use the lift, you can see where the bullet marks are. When people use the lift, if you place your C4 there, if I'm the enemy... Oh shit, where am I going? If I'm the enemy... Oh fucking hell, they've made that a bit wider. If I'm the enemy, coming from the tunnels, I'm walking underneath, not realising, not seeing that C4, bang! I'm dead. That's a max, you're dead. So if you're able to put stuff there, that's great, but don't expect pubbies to do it. There's a little tactic there.
Tank mines can't fly, so no, they don't want.
It's only C4. Finally, we're not going to go over there because you all should know where this is. Platoon Waypoint is the SCU for the tech plant. Same mechanic applies, I believe, for the amp stations as well, where if the cap time is halfway through, that area is now cappable, that area is now possible to kill. So if you've got an elite squad and you want to make sure this tech plant is yours, lock that room down, make sure that that gets destroyed as quick as possible.
By the way, another thing I want to show to people is how to get to the balcony through the rooftop. Because usually if you have a gal drop, whatever, so people know how a safe way without taking full damage, how to get to the balcony. So we can make our way back to the area where we were using the lashers.
See how clean that was. Fly straight and over, people know exactly where to drop, when to drop, etc. Use your mark as well. Okay, Gresson, can you move your gal please? It's in the way. So, what he means by balcony drop, if you all come to me. There's these 2 spires, there's one on the other side. What you can do is you can jump on it, place a beacon here, which somebody already has, so I can place my beacon right here. Means we've got an extra spawn point. You can actually walk down it onto this pad.
To the right, not left, not to the right. The right is better. No, wrong side, wrong side.
Alright, okay. This side then.
Yeah, just go down.
So you can walk on here, and you can see right there is a landing pad. Well, not pad, the balcony bit.
No,
you can jump there. Oh, no. So
no. Well, okay, you let them drop the safer way, more secure.
If you look where I am, Lloyder, you drop down the little gap, down the side of the spotter, onto the slope, and then...
Where am I at?
Alright, well.
Yeah, there's a slope like lower. I'm standing on it as well on the other side.
Okay, well basically there's a better way of doing it. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, I forgot about that. It's been a while since I've done it.
Yeah.
So there is a way to get people on here. The lasher tactic I explained earlier is highly effective. So let's get everybody where I'm stood, which is in the A building. And again,
lightning here.
Pick a door, any door, don't care which one. Fire. Stop. Again, that's another example of it being highly effective. Right then, so I'm going to cover 2 ways of defending this base. So come to the spawn room, please. Let's have a max crash combination, please, which you want to give the order like this. Okay, guys, want a max crash set up. Maxes, medics, and engineers, please. Maxes, medics, and engineers. Very clear, very concise. If you're in a tactical squad, you'll probably say, right, I want 4 maxes, etc., but to be honest, generally speaking, it's fair to just issue that order, because usually 9 times out of 10, maybe half of them bring a max and half of them bring a mission.
I'll get you
I can
fixed
repair
up.
that. Engineer. I'll repair you.
Okay, so there's 2 ways of doing this. One way is going to the, which orientation are we in? Yep, so one way is going, actually, everybody open up the map, I'm going to draw some things. So one way, I'm going to draw this in yellow, is taking your squad and going through the D section, like that. And then off, beyond, to the gen room, etc, etc. That's in yellow. In red, there's another way. So you go past a point, it's a longer way though, up into the Bernarda building and then into the gen room, like that. Now, going through the SCU route directly to it, which I'm going to denote in green. I'm going to do that. How do I? Okay, I have to press it multiple times. Denote in green. If you go there, in blue in this case, in blue, you are going to die a lot. It's so open, it's unrealistically open. You're going to kill your whole platoon doing that. Don't do it. So use one of those 2 paths for a max crash setup. So if we go the D route, you would say to your platoon, right guys, form up on me please, form up on me. So if you pull like an engineer or something like that. Okay, we're going to head to the D route, we're going to take the long way, let's go. So the platoon would follow you. Stop firing, the platoon would follow you, like they are doing now. Now there's 2 options you can go here. You can either go directly for it or go the long way, cutting them off at the pad, but I'd generally go for the direct for it. Yeah, you usually ask you guys, right, pop nades in. Chuck your nades in on the edge of the corner there. And then maxes go in, kill everything. Gently kick ass in there, secure it. There you go. Okay guys, we need to go to gen room as well. Follow me, follow me. And then usually it's a prompt for people to go in the other door, not the door you've gone out, but the other door. Clean this area as well. I think on most bases, if not all of them, B and C are also taken. You can go through there, clear this out, go through here, clear this out, etc, etc, etc. So just to go over the spawn room mechanic, I know many of you understand this, but there are some noobs here. The 3 bases, Biolabs always have 3 bases around them. I don't know if there's any that doesn't have that. I think one in Amerish doesn't, but that's a different base completely. It's not a Biolab technically. So what I highly recommend usually, if you're able, is to get all 3 of the bases. So for example here, Vital Northern Outpost is TR. I would try to surround the base first and cut it off, unless you absolutely need it now. Reason for this is to prevent enemy spawns and extra spawn options for them. Stop firing please, people are trying to listen.
There might be TR here.
There's 1 TR here in a Mozzie, but anyway. Right, let's redeploy please. So that obviously denying enemy spawn options is an apex part of this. The less options they have to outmaneuver you, the better. Sunderer trains are essentially repair sunderers, and lots of them. Lots and lots of them. So if you all come to the vehicle terminal, if you haven't got one already, I recommend you do it now. You set up a config, either number 1 or number 2 or whatever, called Repair Sunderer or Sunderer Terrain or something like that, and equip it with basilisks, fire suppression, nanite proxy repair, the highest rank possible, and I prefer racer high speed chassis. Now, what this essentially provides is a bunch of vehicles that are hard to kill, constantly repair each other, and if push comes to shove, they do drop below when they're on fire. Basically, you have a second life button, which basically gives you extra durability. So let's pull all those, please.
Can I just ask a quick question now?
Yeah.
Don't forget, you also need all the gunners in the Sunderer. So you need, per 3 squad members, you need 1 Sunderer.
So what I tend to do is, right guys, we've got a load of Sunderers that need gunners up to waypoint, man them please. And basically, if you're one of the people driving those Sunderers and you have a 4th person, eject them. So if you press page down, in the member list there you'll have an option to boot people out. Also squad locker as well.
Is it worth taking the ammo Sunderer as well in the train?
A couple of them, yeah. Not many, but a couple. Mainly you'll want repair Sunderers.
What you're about to see is a video by Justicia, one of the old DIG T leaders. This perfectly demonstrates the Sunderer train tactic, how effective it is in combat, and how fun it is.
Right ahead, they're right ahead, prepare.
Oh, they're right here, Burneman.
Fuck! Engage!
Engage! the bridge. Oh, they're right here,
They're getting hit by the other side as well.
If you are a blockade, Sonny, drive backwards.
We can do this!
Force
Oh, they're here, shit. Good behind us. Oh, so many chasers!
This is fucking movie.
I hope someone recorded this. That was the best. I see a red ball. Keep shooting. That was so good.
Come on, guys! You can
Frostbite has a vehicle spawn.
Who's winning? Stay together, we've got repair, they haven't. Nice! Who's winning? We are.
Stay off the cloud!
Yeah!
What the fuck? Guys, and my son is going too.
Oh, NC's here as well.
NC!
Yeah, fuck them up.
Oh,
Big bro, wait on.
Oh my god.
Oh, just a guy. Oh.
No, keep pushing. Oh, that's a lot of vanguards. We have
to flank them or we will die.
we will die, don't worry.
Okay, so the last topic I'm going to discuss is know thy enemy. So I'm going to use 3 examples of outfits I know who we regularly fight, who you should really adapt your tactics towards. So this is an experience thing. It's something I know of, but you guys will eventually learn of it and come to adapt to it as well. So there are 3 outfits of note I want to talk about. So BHO, legendary BHO, who were absolutely legends at running the outfit wars, but that's a different matter. And somehow defeated a salty midfit, THPA. Anyway, stack fit, yeah. So BHO are an interesting breed. I say interesting with a bit of salt. Their leaders, Mike, various of us, they tend not to switch lanes too often. They're very much flutty man sort of level kind of casual leaders. So they will stick to lanes. They will commit fully to those lanes, and where possible, they will try to out-pop you, which has been successful many times. They've defeated many of my platoons before by merely just dropping 2 of their platoons and mine 1, leading from somebody fighting man on man to 2 men on 1. You know, it's impossible to fight sometimes. So with BHO, you have to work with other platoons basically to apply numbers to there to stop the absolute zerg ball that they do when they have momentum, when they have a lot of leaders on, and when they have people listening, they can absolutely dominate fights because they just trample through a lane and don't stop. Actually, it's happened in Hossin, well, not actually by BHO, but an example of it is like right now in the north of Hossin, where NC have just carved an absolute loads of stuff out of TR territory. I know it's a ghost cap, but it does happen, and that's what they'll do. Or, like TR have done right now, they've cut off 5 of our bases. Now that's a ghost cap again, but it's totally doable, and they will do it if they can. Baitor, strictly speaking, if you look at the map there, we should have realised Baitor has been taken and immediately act upon it now. That's what we should have done, but this is a dead continent. So always keep an eye on that kind of thing, because if you lose connection, it's devastating. You lose the ability to pull, if you've got a tech plant, you lose the ability to pull MBTs, Liberators. I think various spawn options get a bit fucky as well, I've noticed. So try to keep and alerts. I've recently been corrected on this. Alerts, if you lose connection, you lose those points for the alerts as well. You lose the percentage, which is a misconception I had actually. So backing onto the no-lie enemy. So BRTD we fought against the Outfit Wars. I came into that match knowing it's going to be a very difficult fight, and we had to contain BRTD as much as we could. However, it turns out that they contained us. They did a very good, very sneakily thing that I think should still not be in the game, but it is, which is an outpost steal, a base steal. So you're actually, look at Outpost Lambda right now in the middle. If I was TR in that context, I would be able to drop, even though NC are capping it from us, I would be able to drop a squad or whatever on that point, yeet the capture, because we've got connection, and essentially steal it from the enemy, even though we have done nothing towards the capture other than drop a few men on point. It is completely possible, I think, in my opinion. It's completely fucking broken, but the fact that you're able to do that is still a thing. It's a highly advanced tactic, requires a high coordination of it, but if you really do need a base and you've got a platoon of galaxies ready and ready to go, fucking drop it, you'll get it. Like, it's so hilarious when it happens as well. FMRD did it to us yesterday. FMRD, very, very late in the alert, capped, what was it, Ceres Hydroponics office. Like, we were about to get the base, and they just yeeted 3 gals full of FMRD elite squad, and absolutely ripped it off us, and they won. And it was actually someone on Reddit about that. It was hilarious. Like, I felt so bad because it was us, it happened to us, but it's totally possible, and hats off to them, you know, it's fucking fantastic. So that's it, guys, really. I don't have anything else in my notes. Is there any questions? Open floor now. Is there any questions you'd like to ask?
How did you draw on the map?
Good question. It's not well known. So on the bottom right, sorry, the top right of the map display, there's a pencil icon called Platoon Overlays. So there's actually there's 3 overlays. First one is only the PL can see, and I don't think anybody can see that right now because I'm the only one that can see it. The Squad Tactical Overlay, which I can't remember if it goes. Yeah. It draws it slightly differently, I think. Does it? Let's have a look.
And then there's a personal.
And there's a personal one as well. Now, not many people use this. I only use it when I need very, very specific things. And also it doesn't work in the minimap. Just remember. So if you need people to pay attention to these, ask them to open the main map because it doesn't show in the minimap. Right, so we just got the Biotol Northern Outpost back, and territory control's gone back up to 15%, so it does count for territory control. I still believe that the alerts go off territory control. I don't see why there would be 2 separate systems, but prove me wrong. Yeah, any other questions, guys? I hear people yawning, so either I'm talking way too much, or I've done.
What's the what's the like? How do I know if can I just pull a new platoon whenever I want? Do I ask permission?
You pull it whenever you want. If there is a Discord platoon, it's generally common courtesy to have one of those only, because having 100 people in a Discord is chaos. But if you want to pull it, if you want to start a Discord platoon, absolutely do it. it's common courtesy to not jump ship and go to another Discord platoon, but if the PL doesn't mind that, absolutely do it. Floating Man lets me run Discord platoons and even encourages people from his platoon on Discord to join mine, because he knows it's...
My whole platoon is ran to Maelstroms in just one go.
Yeah.
What was that?
It can happen, unfortunately. It's a popularity thing, unfortunately. I always say to members, if you're already in a squad led by someone else on Discord, don't jump ship, because it's kind of demoralising on the PL side to see half your platoon vanish. It happens, unfortunately. People don't use the brains and don't know who the leaders are, and they just go, "Oh, this guy's shouting the loudest, let's join him," because they assume they're in a random platoon. So.
Okay, and what about like elite squads or squads separated by armor, air, etc.?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Everybody does it a different way, but my way is I have Delta Squad, who are my elite platoon, elite squad. Sorry. So I think I meant over this earlier on. You might not have been there, but I had Delta Squad, who I know. Essentially, I asked in Discord who wants to be part of a tactical squad. With various volunteers, I moved certain people who I know are up for the challenge, even though they didn't know it, to that squad, and Dignity led it, and yeah, they did their job. They listened very carefully, they followed the SL, and they got shit done. You can choose whatever squad you want. I usually choose Delta Squad, because 9 times out of 10, Alpha and Bravo are open, Charlie is kind of a mix, and Delta is the last filled squad. And usually when you're organising that kind of thing, you need spaces, you need space, literal space in the platoon to drag people around. So that's why I choose Delta, because often there's more spaces in Delta, basically.
I have another question. How is this with Bastion? I'm not sure if you explained it already, but like, who gets to decide when to deploy Bastion?
So only certain people in the outfit can pull Bastions. That's the platoon leaders and above. If that's right, Walker?
Should be, yes.
Yeah. So only
platoon leaders can't.
Platoon leaders can't.
Then only officers and above. So all officers and outfit.
Oh, maybe not platoon leaders. Officers certainly can. We'll have to check it. But it should be, as far as I know, platoon leaders can. Reason for that, obviously, is that it's a very rare resource. We don't want everybody in the outfit pulling them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I get that.
If you want to fly one, then we tried this yesterday. Didn't quite work. I pulled one for, I think it was Illist actually. I pulled one for Illist, but unfortunately, it turns out that all the kills and all the XP, etc., goes to whoever pulled it, which was me. So I was getting all of his kills. However, if you want to fly one, we can give you temporary leadership role ranking outfit and instruct you how to fly one. I think though you have to leave the continent or even leave the game, I think, rejoin, and then it applies your permission.
Relog, I imagine.
Yeah.
How could you get permanent leadership though? Because like, yeah, like a lot of platoon lead, I guess, but like, how do you get like ranked up?
So it's a bit subjective, but generally how it works in DIG, and this will be different in every different platoon. We don't, for example, ask for certifications or, you know, a certain amount of time platoon leading or anything like that. It's more of, you've stepped up, you've been leading more, and you work with people. You don't carve people off and say, right, I'm doing my platoon and doing fucking my own thing and fuck you all, everybody else.
Right.
It's generally, you know, being active and participating basically. And
yeah, sure.
I'll say this now, anyone can do that unless you're a dick. What I'll say to everybody is, everybody can do it. If you want to try it, I will happily, or anybody here, if they're willing, will happily sit next to you and sort of feed you advice, whatever. Take it with a pinch of salt. You'll develop over time. You will develop your own style. If somebody says, if there's a platoon leader, backseat leader, just as I said before, just politely say to them, appreciate that. It's still my platoon. I'll lead it how I want. Don't say it in a negative way. Just say, you know, it's my platoon. By all means, put input, but ultimately it's my decision and your decision to do it.
Yeah, sure.
I can also add that just do it. Just start a platoon. Just start doing it, because that's the only way you're gonna get better at it.
Yeah,
yeah, I did it several times already. I like it. It's cool, especially when the people actually listen to you and you can actually move them around.
Yeah, there's no better feeling when people are listening. And that's the thing, as I was saying about when culling the herd, you'll have various mechanisms. I have my own mechanisms, but you will develop your own various mechanisms of knowing who isn't listening, who isn't participating, and who just basically is just taking the piss and not doing anything towards the platoon. Unfortunately, because of the way this game works, you can get this where people just randomly join, and it's the auto-join thing. What I recommend, because we've got so many people in DIG, is recommending just to lock it down to outfit. You'll always have enough people to join them. You just need to get them in, basically, by whatever means you deem fit. Use the outfit button if you want. I tend to, be a bit shouty and get people in that way. And I think it's become the norm now. If I'm on, there's a Discord platoon on for some reason. Don't know why. It's just the way it is.
That's because you want a Discord platoon.
Yeah.
My biggest issue is because I'm relatively new to the game. I've only been playing 2 weeks. That if I go and pull a platoon and people expect more than what I potentially know about the game.
I mean, there's always a problem. Like earlier, I still, even after 7 years of playing this game, still don't know certain little things.
Can relate.
So, don't be fearful of it. As I said in the very beginning, I don't know if you're there at the very beginning, but at the very beginning I said, accept failure. You will fuck up at some point, and people may or may not decide that you're a bad person because of it, but it's about consistency. If you constantly fuck up, then yeah, people may form that opinion. But if you occasionally fuck up and apologise for it and say, sorry guys, that was a bad call, it's just a really shit situation, let's do something else. People respect that.
Worst case scenario, some people will just avoid a certain platoon leader and that's it. It's not that big of an issue because there's going to be plenty more. That some people enjoy one type of gameplay, others enjoy other type, like tactical. Some enjoy casual, and they know who does what type of platoon leading. So you'll have your own set group in the long run. You'll keep doing platoon leads, and you'll have the same people join you because they'll just enjoy your platoon leading. Same as Maelstrom has his own following.
Short version on that one is when you create your squad, just name it new platoon lead or new squad lead, and then people know.
Well, that as well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, not many people see the squad names. If you're leading open platoons, that's a little different.
Usually we call it DIG open, and that's it, and people just know what to expect. That it's a casual, whatever, and even other outfits already know oh, there's a DIG open platoon or whatever, let's join. We know how it goes on. There's somewhat of cohesion going on, but it's more casual. No one's gonna demand shit from you that much.
But we don't want to have 5 different casual platoons up.
Why not? Exactly. It doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
If we have the people
you can have 5.
Enjoy doing them. Why not have 5 casual platoons? Doesn't really matter. If somebody wants to lead a
casual is better than no
do a tactical.
To be honest.
So just coordinate. Just jump on the Discord and ask how many platoons are up. I want to start leading one.
Not even that. Just do it in the chat.
Just do it in the chat. Outfit chat. If you just press the main 9 button, I think by default it is. You can speak voice in outfit chat and platoon up at the specific indoor platoon up. Anyone wanting an invite, and then you same as Maelstrom said before, just think of a word or letter or whatever, just LL or GG or X, something. Usually it's X.
What I recommend if there's no platoons running, say right guys in outfit chat text saying right guys, I'm forming an Indar platoon. If anyone wants to join it, type Indar. Simple as piss. People will understand that and they know what continent it is, whatever. If you're a bit more confident like me, do it in outfit chat voice. Say, right guys, I'm forming an Indar outfit platoon. Please come join us, and you will get people typing in chat.
Definitely.
When I come on, if there's no one leading, the platoon the outfit chat blows up. Because
there we go. Look at that chat already. Winter Mute platoon. People always are looking for a platoon. The more often.
Yeah, for sure.
People want to play in platoons. Yes. It feels good playing with other players.
Right.
Not only that. That's why you're in DIG. If you don't want to play in platoons, you don't join DIG.
Another reason why people enjoy joining platoons is simply all the buffs, boosts people have.
Oh yeah, yes.
That helps a lot. Like, yeah, having a bunch of people.
Right, guys, to demonstrate this, because we're about to end the training, what I'm going to show now is we've got 153 people online. I'm going to disband the platoon, watch the chat.
And, yeah. How quickly was going to fill up?
Right, 1 sec then. So, let's see. Right, watch this, guys. Right, watch this.
Unfortunately, the recorder didn't capture my audio, but what I said was, right, guys, we're forming a platoon in Ezemir. Type Ezemir if you would like an invite.
Oh shit!
There we go. It's as easy as that.
We're in a very unique position. We're in a very unique position in DIG to have the amount of numbers to do this. Right? Yes, be appreciative of that.
Holy shit!
We have 6,000 members.
So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you've enjoyed it and learnt a lot from it. If you'd like some more tutorials on this, please let me know and I will try to arrange them.